everyone and welcome to Lady Talk. Today we're going to be discussing how you can reduce your carbon footprint. We are all aware that climate change is happening, it's here, and it's having devastating effects on the environment. So we really want to touch on that today. I'm going to hand it over to you, Chris.
So I really wanted to share these five tips that we can all do, even as mums, to reduce our carbon footprint. Because I know oftentimes when I look at minimalist blogs and I look at reducing single-use plastic, reducing any kind of waste, it's really geared towards that single person. And as mums, like, how tricky is it to really kind of coordinate that with 4, 5, potentially 6, 7 members in the family? But there's a way that it can be done, and we can all do our little bit to make a bigger difference. So the 5 things that I really want to share, and I'm going to swing it back to you guys to see what you think about it. The first one is consume less, waste less. So as a society, we are geared towards consumerism. We buy, we spend. And for what? To feed the ego, to an emotional buy, all those, and like, I'm guilty of it. Like retail therapy, but also, like, I'll give you an example. So I went and bought this, okay? So this is super dope, and I love it. It is a bamboo cutlery set, so that when I do eat out, I'm not using single-use plastic.
Good idea.
But the other thing is, babe, what? I feel like I have a fork, I have a knife, I have a spoon, so there is really no need to go out and buy it. And I love these companies that are geared towards, sustainability and promoting a more eco lifestyle, but really use what you have. Use the spoon you have at home, use the fork you have at home. I mean, this is great, but if you have that at home, why would you? Wrap it in a handkerchief. Therefore, your carbon footprint gets reduced in that way. And the second thing I want to highlight to your attention is green your commute. So where you can, and it's harder when you have a family, yes, but if you can and when you can, ride a bike, walk. Can you use public transport? And if you do choose to fly, can you pay your carbon offset tax?
Right.
So again, that's something else that, to be mindful of, because I know my family, we want to travel in the future, and that's something that I think we can all contribute to quite easily. The third thing is support companies that are aligned with sustainable practices. So there are a few companies, for example, I teach yoga, and there are a few companies there are a lot of companies in the yoga world that actually recycle plastic bottle and make them into yoga wear. Like, how dope is that?
Wow, that's so cool.
Like, super awesome.
It's not like those people that the fashion designers, that they have a theme or a challenge in a week where they're doing design and they make awesome dresses out of garbage bags.
Yeah, man.
That is wicked. I so
cool.
remember seeing one of those floating around the internet, and I was like, I'd wear that.
Yeah, girl.
I'd love to see some of that.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen that. So
we're going to post some up. Don't worry.
The other thing I want to point out is talk about it, share it, upload it. Hey, it's probably, it could even be like an interesting dinner party topic. Like, it's not going to be super vibing right away, but it's important.
It is.
I feel like if we all did our little bit, we can have a huge impact. And then finally, and this is somewhat controversial, and I'm here for it, because the facts speak for itself. Eat less meat, and that's why I'm wearing my Eat Veggies, Not Animals tee, because scientific based facts show that less meat you eat, you reduce your carbon footprint by like a crazy amount.
Okay, so how's that working on the ground? So how does that work when you eat less meat and the production is still flowing? Like, how does that work?
Because corporations, they look at how consumers spend their money, and corporations back what consumers will buy. So the less meat you buy, it's not going to fuel that economy.
So that explains why we've seen a surge in vegan products on the shelves at supermarkets. Like, there's mock meat, there's
How many of those did you see like 10 years ago?
Yeah,
you didn't.
They're so everywhere. Available.
Like
very
tofu.
valuable. Yeah.
Like tofu to me was like something that to me I was like, ew, what is that? And that's what I was like. It was not really a thing. Now you had like tofu for everything. So that's what I mean by these corporations. They track the dollar. That's what they're here for. They're here for profit making, for profit margins. So the money that you spend, it sends a message to these companies, and they will gear their practices towards that. Like, you can imagine, like a large corporation like Hungry Jack's. Since when do they offer vegan mock meat? Well, they are, because that's what the economy is asking for. So eat less meat.
Very cool. And I actually wanted to share two of the things that I'm a fan of at the moment. moment because I'm not really a fan of single-use plastics. Obviously, there's going to be times where you can't avoid it, but most of the time you actually can.
Yeah.
So instead of using, those bottles that you get from the supermarket, you pay $2 for, that have BPA in them. So for those of you that aren't aware, BPA that goes into your body and your system can actually affect your hormones, the endocrine system, and it can cause a lot of havoc. Research suggests that it causes PCOS, which is what's PCOS again? Polycystic ovarian syndrome, which causes a lot of havoc for women that are trying to conceive. It becomes very hard for them and painful. For me, I know that BPA caused a lot of acne issues, and it wasn't until I sort of stopped using a lot of plastics that kind of cleared up. So I like to use this. I fill it up and I take it with me, so that stops me from buying a lot of water. I can actually refill it whenever I need to, and it doesn't have BPA in it. So this one is amazing for me. You can put hot water in it, you can put cold water in it, and it's pretty good. That's
And
my favorite.
one of these equals hundreds of plastic bottles.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, yeah, when you think about it,
Yeah.
Instead of reusing the plastic bottles.
And so what are some of the practices that you put into your daily routine to reduce?
Well, having to be honest,
Yeah.
and
that's
talking about
fine.
this subject
Yeah.
right now, it makes me think like, wow, it's so interesting. Like these are some of the things that I didn't really ever thought about. But I love Nat what you do as well. Like I haven't really put too much thought to it, to be honest.
And I wanted to ask you, because
Yeah.
you are super into fashion, and I love your style,
Mhm.
and if I have an event, I will ask you, okay, where am I going to go? And you give really good advice on that. And one of the things that people in the industry who want to reduce waste and reduce less consumption is this thing called clothes swapping. How do you feel about that?
Oh, we do that at my church.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, they do. In sisterhood, they're all
I
about
don't know
that.
about this.
They know all about
That's
that.
awesome. Yeah.
I could totally tag you in link you into all of that. Yeah, they do it all the time, and
That's awesome.
it's a big thing. It's a massive thing, especially with people that in this world that aren't as privileged to be able to go and do shopping. Do you know what I mean? And they might have something that someone else is. Yeah. So I haven't bitten one to myself because I've always had to be at work.
Yeah.
But if you guys are interested in going to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
There are a lot of meetups and swaps.
There are.
Especially at markets.
True.
At markets, they have it. And I'm also a big fan of op shopping.
Yes,
That's
I
just
know
me.
you are. Yeah.
I just like taking
I
out
love
secondhand, branded goods that fit well.
Have you got any advice on that?
By the way, this is
tried-
secondhand.
Really?
Not mine. This is secondhand. It's Diana Ferrari,
Oh,
and I like
amazing. I feel like you need a lot of patience for optioning, which I don't have.
No,
It's not for everyone.
it's actually the area.
Okay.
To,
Right. So there's
That
little
we call-
pockets.
yeah.
There's pockets.
there's little areas, but I've got a friend who op shops and loves and finds gold
Amazing.
in those shops.
Yeah.
And I'm yet to go with her. So
There's a lot of people that actually create a business out of it. Like they buy the vintage clothing, they have a vintage store online, or at the markets on the weekend, and they really clean up.
Yeah.
There's people that flip items that are going on Amazon or eBay for like 10 to 50% more than what they're actually buying at the op shops.
I love it. And
there's
then
business to be made, and that money goes towards charities
Yeah.
who obviously are not for profit, so they're putting that back into the operations of the organisation, or they're filtering it out to families, or whatever it is that they have started the course for.
and then that then does not put pressure on the industry to make more.
Yeah.
Make more clothing.
Fast fashion. And be mindful when you shop at places like Big W, Kmart, Target, because a lot of the items that you're getting are from sweatshops in China and India. And so if you're seeing something that is ridiculously cheap that you can't resist, just think in the back of your mind it's probably a sweatshop with people working ridiculous amounts of hours to produce it and get not paid what it's even being presented for.
And this is I'm guilty of this because I'm a mum. I have 3 children, and I'm looking for the best bargain. I'm gonna look for the most bang for my buck. So I'm super guilty of buying from Kmart, Target, and BW.
Yeah.
But what I've learned and what I'm trying to implement now is to buy quality so that I know it lasts.
Yeah.
And I'm again not putting pressure on the environment, on resources, when I then have to replace it 2 or 3 months down the track. To invest.
That is true.
Yeah,
That is
true. And supporting local as well.
Yes.
So
Oh, yes.
buying products that are made in Australia, you're strengthening the economy, you're helping a small business to flourish, and you're making sure that the dollar stays within the country to circulate.
And I love that your church
Yeah.
is all about it. And not only is it helping the environment, it's helping those who might not necessarily have the opportunity to
Yeah.
shop at high-end boutiques, but they can get it at a third of the price.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I wanted to add in, you know, when you asked me about what part do I take in this, well, I thought about it and about that whole less eating meat as well, and especially with my whole health kick and fitness right now, I've noticed that there's not too much meat that I'm taking as well, and I'm probably doing it without even realizing that I'm playing a part in that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's what I just thought.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So just quickly, we're going to share our top tips. So for me, it's all about using something that you can reuse, like an aluminum bottle instead of a plastic bottle you're just going to throw away. I also have is a produce bag. So instead of using those single-use plastics that you get from the stores or the farmers markets, just bring along your own bags, put your produce in them, and these are obviously reusable. So if your tomato squashes, you can wash it, reuse it.
That's cool.
You just got to remember to take it. That's all.
Where can you get them from now?
You can get them online. There's actually a really good store. It's called Kitchentopia. It's owned by Samantha. She's a really lovely lady, and she specializes in eliminating single-use items. She specializes in waste reduction items as well. So, so Kitchentopia. She has a Facebook page, and she actually has a website as well. So, what's your top tip?
I think that would be my first point, which is consume less, waste less, and just to add to that, if you can, reduce and reuse before you recycle. So the example that I had of buying a little cutlery set, amazing. I love that there are these brands that you spoke about that are offering these options, but also you probably have it at home. Like there are these awesome, dope, companies that also you might have one in the kitchen. So check that out first.
Yeah. I guess my top tip, I have to admit, I'm still a plastic bottle user, but I do reuse it.
Yeah.
I don't throw it away straight away and just go buy another one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I try to make the most of that.
Yeah.
You know, so but I think it's great if everyone could, put what's the word? I'm trying to say, what's the word? Invest in one of those bottles.
Yes.
Just to
And sometimes it is an investment.
But you know what? The reason why I've got plastic is because I lost my other one. So I'm yet to go and invest in another one. So that's why I've gone. But yeah, just be mindful of that.
And recyclable coffee cups. So
yes,
definitely. If you remember to bring them to your barista.
And you know what's so dope? When the companies reduce the price of the coffee if you bring your forever cup.
Encouraging.
Yes, they do. They do.
Because that's what makes me choose. Like when you're standing there and there's 5 coffee shops, you're like, oh, which one am I gonna?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the one that offers me less for bringing my forever cup.
Yeah.
So are you listening, Starbucks? Are you listening,
McDonald's? Coffee Club.
So cool.
We're calling you all out.
Yeah.
Give us a discount for using our own containers. All right. Well, that's all for the show at the moment. If you have any questions, post them below in the comments, and we will include some links to what we've discussed today in the description. So we'll see you later.